Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 9-to-5s, but we are still married to the game. 069. How are y'all doing? It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router and Timothy Hall. Of course, and as always, we are talking games and life and games. We are so happy that you are here. We're happy to be here. It is 2014 officially for us recording the podcast. Happy New Year. I don't know how long you can say Happy New Year into the year, but it's our first podcast of 2014. We got to say Happy New Year. Last time we recorded the podcast, it was New Year's Eve and we released on New Year's. But this is our first time recording in the new year. And we are excited to kick another one off with y'all. Tim Router, are you feeling the same way, my brother?
I got 2 words for you. Polar vortex. It's it's freaking cold, people.
Golly.
I got 1 word for you. 1. It's 1.
Yeah. As in degree.
As in 1 degree. It is cold. I hope everybody out in the Midwest is doing all right and not losing power and freezing your butts off. But man, Nashville, what, 9 degrees?
Yeah.
9 degrees on Monday? Something like that?
Yeah, freakishly cold. Yesterday morning, it was in Brentwood, it was -2.
Wow. Yeah, because we had some wind too early. So that wind chill factor kicks in. But man, it's cold.
Stupid.
But I just love saying polar vortex. It's like Tiger Claw. It just kind of flows.
Yeah, it feels right.
Yeah, it does. It feels right.
I taught Amara to say stupid cold.
That was awesome.
So I've been having her tell people it's stupid cold. Like, tell grandma it's stupid cold. She's like, stupid cold. I was like, yeah.
Doing well, though, despite freezing my butt off. But it's been good. It's been a good week. Back in the swing of things with work and everything. And since we last talked, it's kind of funny. We throughout this Christmas, we didn't go anywhere. We basically had a staycation. So Lauren didn't go in the store for an entire week. I tried not to get on my computer and answer emails and that kind of stuff. So after the new year, Lauren's like, "Hey, we need to work on Piper's Playroom." And I'm like, "Okay." Within like 48 hours, it was done. And we basically rearranged our living room and used one room as the playroom that's here. And because there used to just be toys everywhere, we used to just pile them in the corner. And man, it feels nice now. It's like everything. I'm in the playroom right now where we're recording, and it's just nice and spacious, and I'm just relaxed. And it was great, man. And thank you, Target, man. You've got all kinds of fun, inexpensive stuff that we can get so that Piper can beat the crap out of it. So it's perfect. So yeah, we were working on that kind of stuff, and it was just nice.
And I think because you stayed home, you got a heavy dose of Patillos this holiday season.
Yeah. Well, and because you're home too, we got a heavy dose.
Well, we always stay home.
Yeah, but with you not on the road, like we had the entire Patillo family, because sometimes Jenny and Amara come over because Amara and Piper play so well together, and they're just crazy little girls running around chasing each other, and it's so much fun to watch. So,
and they're so close in age, it's not like one's
it's perfect. It's perfect. It's not like Amara's 15 or anything. So yeah, so it works out great. So we got a heavy dosage of the Patillos. Went and saw Frozen yesterday with the 2 girls, their first movie ever. And
that's a pretty fitting movie for the weather.
Yes, exactly.
Seriously.
Exactly. And man, those girls did great in the movie theater, and that, like, there was no like throwing anything or kicking people in front. They were fixated on the movie, and it was great. So
yeah, we didn't know how exactly that was going to go.
Did they turn off their cell phones?
Yeah, they did. But it was so funny, like in the scenes, like Piper. Thankfully, we were in the way back, which was good. It was a pretty packed show too, and I'm like,
crazy.
I'm like, oh great, this could go either way. Like, I'm prepared. Like, I have my phone ready to distract her. We're like right near the steps, so if I have to grab her, I could grab her and go. I was kind of mentally just prepared for some sort of breakdown to happen, but she was just going, "Oh wow," the whole time. It
was awesome.
It was really great. So it was fun. It was a proud daddy moment, and it was really good. On the gaming front, got a lot done this past week. Dishonored is in the bag.
Yes, sir.
I really dig it. That's one of those games where I may come back to that, just because there are so many different ways of doing of doing some of these missions, like lethal versus non-lethal, and I tried to not kill as many people as possible, and it's just a fun stealth game, and I think the animation's great in it, and so I really enjoyed it. So finished that, went over, got my PSN code from Hall for Christmas, and downloaded The Walking Dead.
Oh, yes, now.
Played episode 1. Can't wait for they set up a wonderful second season. I think it's going to be just as good as the first. I love that you're playing Clem too. I think that's really cool, and it's great. So everybody, if you haven't played it yet, start playing it now. And if you haven't played the first one, you're snoozing. It's if you like great story games, this is perfect for you. Like, you could basically at some points just sit back and just watch the drama unfold, and it's so much fun. So finish that, and then now I'm going back to 2011, and I'm playing Infamous 2. Because Hall, I know you're playing Mass Effect 3, so I don't want to double up on. I want you to finish that, and then I'll probably come back to it. But I wanted to get Infamous 2 in because we all know Second Son's coming out in about 2 months now, so I want to get that in. So it'll be great. And so far, it's just like it's great to get back in the swing of it with Infamous, because I love using those lightning grenades and just going and just wrecking shop. It's just fun. But man, in this one they have those user generated missions, and I look on the map. I'm like, yeah, I can't do all these. There's just
There's so many of them.
Way too many. I did like the first couple of them. Like, okay, I mean, it doesn't give me a ton of XP. It's just like fun little side stuff to do. I'm on a mission, boy. I got to get this. I want to get things rolling, and so I'm doing all the actual built-in, the native side missions, and the main missions. But it's great, man. And it's funny, since I just 2 months ago had completed Infamous. Graphically, it's night and day. It's really cool to see. Everything just seems so much. Yeah, the animation's better and smoother. The cutscenes are smoother, and yeah, it's pretty cool to see that progression happen. So that's pretty much it from the Router household.
Let me ask you this. It's an old question for those of us that played Infamous when it came out. But like a big thing that people dealt with that they didn't like was how much Cole's look had changed. Do you feel that at all, or
no? That really didn't bother me. You know what? It felt like a second season of a TV show, and that actors kind of change their appearance every once in a while. They'll have longer hair, or they'll have this, that, and the other. I don't think it bothered me at all. The one thing I didn't like in Infamous was the sound effect of him running. It was those little metal chains or whatever that was hanging off his backpack or whatever he had.
Right.
That drove me nuts. In this one, it's definitely more muted. It's more like footsteps versus that. But no, I mean, that doesn't bother me at all. I think it's just like a continuation of his character. So it works fine for me. I didn't even think about that.
There you have it.
And Zeke is still cracking me up, man. He's hilarious.
You know what's funny? They got Zeke to do the voice of the operator when you call Sucker Punch.
Oh, that's so great.
So when you call Sucker Punch, instead of it being like press 0 for this, it's Zeke doing it.
It's like, hey man.
Yeah, exactly. It's hilarious.
That's super smart.
Yeah, really creative.
It was really cool.
Halsifer.
Yep.
Did you finish Skyrim yet?
I'm on the last mission now.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Are you still playing Mass Effect? That's my question.
Yes,
Good.
doing both. But yeah, I mean, it's going to take me a while to finish Mass Effect. I think.
Yeah,
exactly.
Mass Effect 2 took me about, I want to say 30 hours.
Yeah, me too. I was like 30. I think I was 35 or so.
And Mass Effect 3 is a little bit. I don't know if they got a different person to do Liara, but I don't remember her being that like flat as a character.
I think I feel the same way. Now that I'm thinking back on it.
She's early in the game. It's not a spoiler. I mean, she's pretty early in the game, number 3. But I just don't remember her being like that. It seems like she's pretty one-dimensional in 3.
But is she? is she still in the same role as she was in Mass Effect 2, where she's like the communications manager, or
No.
like she's an intel person?
Kind of, but like it's a little bit different because you have to have played the DLC, I think, in 2 to understand really what she was doing.
Oh,
Because she like became a shadow broker.
right.
Right. The Shadow Broker.
Yeah, it's a lot better if you just play the DLC. And for some reason, when I downloaded 2, I don't know if I like bought it when it was bundled or something, but when I bought 2, it came with all that stuff. So I got to play all of the DLC. I got the whole story basically.
Yeah, I think I did too with my copy, because I did that whole Shadow Broker mission and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, I think the PlayStation 3 version came with the DLC. I think that was the whole draw, was that they just gave you most of
everything.
the stuff.
That's cool.
Or everything, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to get back into that game.
Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, as far as like the combat, and I know this is almost a 2-year-old game at this point, but the combat's way better than 2. It feels more solid.
Mm-hmm.
And everything kind of moves a little better too. I think they kind of modified their engine a little bit to be more of a competent third-person shooter. Because in number 2, cool. I mean, they were still kind of ahead of the time. There wasn't that much to draw from. But after they came out with 2, I mean, I think they could look back at a lot of the third-person shooters that came out pretty much at the same time as Mass Effect 2, and then they could draw from that and say, okay, let's make some changes. So,
I thought the combat mechanics were great in 2, so I'm excited to see how.
Well, there you go. You're really going to like 3 then.
Yeah, I'll really love 3.
Yeah.
It just felt comfortable, and it felt very smooth and very, very easy to work with.
I mean, they might have updated, they might have like done some tweaks to it over the course of the game being out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like Uncharted 2 came out pretty much right when Mass Effect 2 came out, and then like a couple other third-person shooters came out as well. So I think that they were able to kind of draw from that influence a little bit. Because they kind of have a modified version of the, I think the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Epic kind of they do the Unreal Engine as well. I mean, obviously they're the ones who make it, and they kind of do their own thing with it as well. You know, Gears of War is a solid third-person shooter. But Mass Effect had to be something different because it's a little, you've got powers that you're throwing and stuff. So I don't know. It just feels much tighter in 3, and you'll see what I mean when you play it.
That's really cool. Now for Skyrim, what level are you? A Nord or an elf, or what are you?
I think I'm an Imperial.
Nice.
Which is boring. So
why?
Because you don't. Like some of the other races, like you get a half resistance to something, or
your levels are different depending on what species you are.
Yes, just some things are a little bit different. Like you have a special bonus thing or something, and my bonus is that you can just like you shout and everybody around you calms down or something. It's the dumbest thing.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You don't have a weapon or anything. Your weapon is, all right, everybody calm down, please.
Guys, calm down.
Please. Dragon, stop breathing fire on me, please.
Right.
Thank you.
Hall's power. He's like, Hall's upgraded his hey. He's like, everybody's like, hey, what's your power? It's like, it's the hey. It's like, how does that work? It's like, well, when everybody's fighting, you're like, hey. Come on, guys. Why are we doing this?
I know. I went boring on my character too. I was just like, I'll just be a Nord. I'll just be some plain old white dude and just go from there. But like I upgraded because I found like this helmet that gives me better archery skills and all that. It's as you start looting and looking around, you'll find things that actually give you that extra bonus. But yeah, I didn't find the hey power. So I think you win on that one.
I have never
breastplate. I've
never used it because it's like when I get into an area with people going nuts, I want to fight. So it's yeah. But
hey.
hey, keep it down. Hey,
guys, it's just a dragon. I got this. I was Dragonborn. Hey,
that's almost as good as the whoa power
ability.
Yeah,
that's funny.
I have mostly magic armor though, because throughout the game I was able to find stuff that gives you like more magicka, or your magicka's faster. So
Yeah.
and plus I became I went and did the all of the missions at the College of Magic.
Oh, good. So
the one in
you're like
Winterhold.
a mage, like master or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but basically, you do all the missions there, and you get some stuff. So
Yeah.
but yeah, it's pretty cool. If you install the DLC before you play the game, which I started just a new game once I installed the DLC, some of the stuff from the DLC comes and interacts with you during the game.
Oh, cool.
So I was able to get vampire armor.
Nice.
It's pretty sweet. So
yeah, I never played that DLC. I played the Dragon Born one or whatever it was. That was the one I played.
Oh, cool.
Man, I can't imagine starting over on Skyrim right now. Just based on like the level that I'm at and everything I've collected, I'm like, oh.
That's why I didn't play it anymore.
That would be it would be a daunting task. It would still be fun. It's a great game. I love that game, but it's like, fun. But that would be harsh just to be like, okay, new game, here we go.
Well, my old save file was pretty old, so I was like, I just want to start over.
That's awesome.
I didn't do any of the story missions in my first save file, so it's not like I was...
You weren't missing anything then?
No, not at all.
Really quickly, let me ask you this. When you finished The Walking Dead episode 1 of season 2, were you just as amped as when the Wolf Among Us episode ended?
Yes.
I was telling Gabe this. I think I was more excited for The Wolf Among Us than I am The Walking Dead right now.
I think The Wolf Among Us had a more interesting cliffhanger.
Oh man, that cliffhanger is ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, you had no idea that was coming. And if we have people out there that haven't played The Wolf Among Us yet, play it.
Like please. Gabe.
Like Gabe.
Oh yes. My gosh, Gabe.
Please, you guys have to play that game. That cliffhanger, I think I actually said out loud, I was like, no!
Yeah, me too. I was like,
no! I was like, no! And then boom, at the end, I'm like, oh, come on. So I can't wait. I can't wait for that next episode. It'll be great.
With The Walking Dead, when I got to the end of that, I was like, really? Like, that's the end?
Yeah, I was a little like, oh, that's where we're ending here? Okay.
Yeah, I was like, that's okay.
But it's still going to be great.
No, it's still a great game and still a great story, but I was like, well, that's a little weird. But I mean, with the other episodes, I'm sure they'll end on like much higher notes or crazier notes like the season 1 did. So.
Yeah. Well, and I think with The Wolf Among Us, they probably had something to prove anyway. So that like having a cliffhanger like that is perfect because that will get you into the next episode.
I'm so mad that I haven't played any of this.
Yeah, Gabe, you've got to play it, man.
I might not even just. Golly.
Are you're waiting for the Vita version, right?
I was wanting to, but you guys got me not wanting to.
I'm telling you, it will take you an hour and a half. I think that's how long it took me. Like you can do it in just one sit down session. Just do it, man. It is so good.
Oh man.
Speaking of Gabe.
Yeah.
How was your week, brother?
Oh, it was good. We just been chilling. It's kind of nice. I'm really just getting back at it this week. Like Monday, started writing again and stuff like that, and doing some meetings and
writing that hit song.
Yeah, exactly. Ramping up for our tour next month, and we've got a couple shows coming up, and so just kind of trying to get my feet back under me and realize that I have jobs to do. You know what I mean? So is
before you go back out on your other job.
Exactly. Where Hall was like back to work on the 2nd of January.
He was back to work before that too. He's like,
no, I was what we did since it fell on a Wednesday, we went back to work for the 2 days before New Year's.
Oh, good. You didn't end up having to go back for the Thursday and Friday?
No, I went back for Thursday and Friday too. It's basically that I would have been off until the 2nd, but the holidays kind of fell midweek, and I didn't want to use any days. So,
that's smart.
Yeah.
Oh,
my company closes down every year just because all the people we do business with close down too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just kind of getting back into that. And then that freaking Ni no Kuni.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of hours played.
Can
How's
this
that
thing
going?
wrap up, please?
I hate when that happens.
Nino Cooney, I openly invite you to wrap up.
You probably got what, like another 10, 15 hours?
I probably have somewhere between 8 to 10 hours.
God bless JRPGs.
Yeah, I'm about, I want to say 43 hours into it.
Oh.
Wow.
And just seeing that number before I went and saved it the other day, as I was turning it off, I was like, holy crap. And it's kind of one of those things, this game, I'm not going to say anything to spoil it, but it ramps, something happens, and it dives. And I can feel that it's going to ramp again. You're playing the game. Gosh, I'm trying to think how you say this without spoiling anything. Okay, this doesn't really spoil anything, but so you kind of, the whole story is kind of getting to this one point, and then you kind of go past that point, and you're like, oh, that's right. The game was called Ni no Kuni: The Wrath of the White Witch, not Ni no Kuni, who I've been trying to beat this whole time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and you know who the White Witch is and everything, but it's like, man, I think your insides are hoping this is it. And it's not it, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
So, dude, Ni no Kuni, whenever you want to.
Man, that's insane.
Ready for these credits.
And then when those credits roll, you're going to go right into AC4,
I'll probably start crying first. I'll cry a little bit, and then I'll go into AC4.
And you're going to put 40 hours into that too.
No.
No, you don't have to. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Like, you could just go through everything.
Right.
I cannot wait for you to play that game.
I cannot wait. And that's what's, I think, making this worse. It's not like I'm playing Ni no Kuni and not looking forward to anything else. Like, I'm playing Ni no Kuni, like, with AC4 staring me in the face on PS4, like, come on, baby.
Hall, do you want me to let you borrow my AC4 since I'm not playing it?
That'd be great, because I thought about buying it last night, but Amazon changed their free shipping thing to $35 instead of $25.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, because they got it on sale right now for $30, but I was like, man.
Yeah. Well, I think we're trying to get together soon, so I'll definitely. You have to play that game, man. I think you'll love it.
I'll try to dig something out of the archives if you guys want to play anything.
Okay.
I'll just send you a picture of what I got.
Yeah.
Oh, Gabe, you need to borrow Sega collection.
Ooh, let's do it. I'm definitely down for that. Yeah, so that's pretty much me. Just writing Ni no Kuni. We have started up the Wii U a couple times and played some Dr. Mario. My wife has been at the helm with a remote in her hand. Another reason I cried a little bit this week. I was like, it's just so beautiful. Watching you sit there.
I know. And she's like, back off, Slick. I got this.
Exactly. I'm like, watching you play Dr. Mario is one of the most beautiful. Oh, over, down. Okay. It's one of the most beautiful things in the world. So I'm definitely a backseat driver when it comes to that game.
Did she get mad at you?
Yeah, she's like, okay. I'm like,
those are the worst moments.
I know, but it's all because I love her and I want her to win.
Of course. She just wants to be left alone, apparently.
Exactly.
That's good.
Tim Router.
Oh, yes.
Let's do it. Dragonborn.
Man, the new releases for the next couple weeks, I'm sure, are going to be really slim.
Yeah.
But because they already are, like, there's only really two major ones this week. One is for PC. It's Secrets of Raidicon. No idea what that is. And then for the Wii U, because it's the new year, We Fit You. So.
Oh, that's right.
So that came out.
Which also sounds like it could be somebody who
We Fit You. It could be a fashion game.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like someone's gonna come take your measurements and be like,
Exactly.
on the catwalk. Yeah, on the catwalk.
That's
a
right.
tailoring simulator.
A tailor simulator. That's awesome.
That sounds so boring.
That sounds, shoot me.
We
Okay.
fit you. It's all where the emphasis falls.
Oh, yeah.
We
It
fit
could be-
you. We
it
fit
could be,
you.
We fit you?
Not-
We fit you.
Not the we fit you.
Yeah, it's like, we fit you.
Yeah, you always need the emphasis on every word. Oh,
Exactly.
weird.
That's crazy. All right, let's top selling games for the week ending December 28th. Once again, these charts are a week behind. You know, the other night I was just doing some Google search and trying to find some sort of chart that can combine some digital downloads too, and I can't find anything for the life of me. I know over in the UK they have some more accurate charts, but I was thinking about it and I'm like, you know, whoever is trying to collect all this data has to get stuff from Sony, get stuff from Nintendo, get stuff from all these people, and it's probably a pain to compile all that.
Yep.
So that's probably why they don't have a chart like that.
They go to Nintendo to get it, and they're like, "We sell stuff online."
Yeah, right. So you know, it's just one of those things where I think most of these charts are going to continue to be brick and mortar stores versus digital downloads. Hopefully that will change. I'm sure it will change within the next year or two.
Mhm.
But for now, week ending December 28th, here we go. Number 10, Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U.
Nice.
Number 9, Madden NFL 25 for the 360. Number 8, Battlefield 4 for the 360. Number 7, got that Pokemon XY.
Nice.
Oh yes,
3DS.
Got to catch them all, baby.
That's right. Number 6, NBA 2K14 for the 360. Number 5, Call of Duty Ghosts for the PS3. Number 4, Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PS3.
Really?
No, here we go again. Number 3, Just Dance 2014 for the Wii.
Golly.
What?
I don't get it. I still don't get it, but whatever. It
That's
works.
incredible.
I guess people were spending their
Have
gift
you
cards
guys
from
ever-
Christmas?
Have you guys ever played those games?
Yes.
No, I have not.
Hall, well, see, I don't know. Hall, your personality is so interesting because
I would love to see Hall play Just Dance
number
2014.
one, I'd love to see it. Number two, did you find yourself like enjoying yourself?
I more like to watch people play the game.
But so my point is, somebody invited me over. They're like, you guys got to come over and play Just Dance. And I was like, I'm all right. And they're like, please just come over. Dude, so like, 30 minutes and a bucket of sweat later,
Right.
I'm sitting in their living room like, okay. No. Macarena, me and you, Macarena. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just so interesting. And like Hall brings up a good point too. Like whether you're playing it or you're watching it, something about it is really fun.
It really is.
It can't not be fun. You're dancing. Like
It's actually the most fun when you're doing like family get-togethers.
Exactly. And it was like
Yeah.
that. It was me and Jenny and another couple and their kids.
Oh, that's great.
And it was
That's
like
cool.
just so much. There was so much fun surrounding it. And it was,
Yeah, that would be fun. I can see that being fun.
It
Well, there
really
you have
is.
it. That's why it's number 3. There you have it.
Exactly.
Number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5 for the 360, and number 1, Call of Duty Ghosts for the 360.
Nice. There you have it.
Yep.
Sweet. Timothy Hall.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna guess at what your first story is gonna be.
Well, actually, I've got a lot of stuff here. Some of it's kind of small, though. Do we
all
want to
right.
talk about PlayStation Now first?
That's what I thought you were gonna say. We might as well dive
Oh,
into
yes,
it.
now.
Yeah, let's get into that.
So, somebody tweeted at us yesterday, I think it was. They said, the future is now. Because we talk about, on a lot of these episodes, we talk about how, Gaikai's coming. We don't really know what it's going to be, but, it's coming. And so Sony announces PlayStation Now at CES, of all things. That's kind of weird, but...
You know what's funny?
What's that?
I thought. Sorry, I had a bug in my throat. I thought it was weird too, but at the same time, it makes perfect sense.
I thought it was smart.
It makes perfect sense when you start reading into more of the stuff. So for those who don't know, PlayStation Now is basically what Sony has been talking about, what they're going to do with Gaikai. So it's kind of like a cloud-based game service, similar to OnLive, where you can play PlayStation games. They said mainly PlayStation 3 at this time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
PlayStation 3 games on Sony devices. So they were talking, you'll be able to play it on your PS4, on your PS Vita, on your Bravia TV.
Yeah.
And like they mentioned a couple other devices.
Tablets, your PS3, and eventually your cell phone.
Why would you play PS3 streaming games on your PS3?
Because you might not have it.
Yeah, I guess. That's weird.
But if it's a subscription, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to go out and buy the game, you just stream it. And it's going to be PS1 and PS2. I mean, it's going to be the whole gamut, right?
Wow.
What if you could play your PS3 games on your PS2?
What?
That would be hilarious.
Oh, if you're using a PS2 to stream, PS3 games.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the library of PS2 and PS1, I think, are also going to make their way onto this situation.
That's kind of cool. I mean, the reason that the PS2 and PS1 games would come over, I would think, would be because PS4 can't play those at all.
Exactly.
So they haven't written the emulators or anything for it yet.
I tell you what, man, this is a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but it's making me a little nervous too at the same time. I'm praying, and I'm sure it's not going to be this way, but I'm praying it's not going to be one of those Sims 3 instances where their servers just go down because SimCity, SimCity, where their servers crash because they got to have their servers and their databases all put together and streamlined, because how many people are going to jump on that day one. It's going to be insane, and then to have to stream games over the interwebs is going to be insane. So I'm nervous about it. I'm super excited if it works. The two things that I'm nervous about is, and the first one is like pricing. Like, how is this going to work? Is it going to be like a 3-tiered system, or is it just going to be, here's one set price for is it monthly? Is it annual? Is it going to be like PlayStation Plus? And two, I'm just worried about, frame rate dropping, crashing, all that fun stuff, because anytime you deal with that stuff, it could be a nightmare. And just ask SimCity. They'll tell you.
Yeah.
Well, and I can speak from experience. I played a little bit of OnLive, which was basically this same thing. And the way it worked is they had, servers upon servers upon servers, and you would basically log in and you would be playing PC games, streaming from their centralized servers, which I think they had maybe like 5 of them in the US, like 5 server farms.
Wow.
And it worked pretty well. I didn't experience any slowdown or anything. The only problem was latency, because I wasn't close to a server. So that's something that they're going to have to figure out. Although I did play Gaikai's demo, which this was a long time ago. Basically,
how long?
Probably 2.5 years ago, maybe 3. There was a time where if you went to their website, and this was before Sony bought them, you could play Mass Effect 2 like on their website, like the first hour or something.
Wow.
Just to test out the tech, and it worked great.
Wow. Okay.
So, and this was 2.5, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they figured out the latency thing, because I don't know if they have servers near me, or maybe they're renting servers near me or something.
Well, even at CES, people were reporting that there was lag there.
Yeah.
But they said it was playable. They said it was definitely playable. You could tell if you were paying attention to it. But so the games they had at CES were Last of Us, God of War Ascension, Puppeteer, and Beyond Two Souls.
And
great games right there.
Exactly. And they said playing Last of Us, you could tell the lag. But they said God of War was still playable. Like, you could still, and for people that have played God of War, that's a fast moving.
Yeah, that's a Twitch game.
Yeah. Much. And so, man, and then Beyond Two Souls is really slow moving anyway. So it's not like you would probably, feel it as much on games like that, or and I've told you guys before, playing Ni no Kuni. Sure, there's some things that I want to do quickly, but it's not like, I don't know, it's not like a rhythm game where you're depending on it.
Were they streaming games in from outside the show, or did they bring the server to play the games as well?
I'd imagine it's from outside.
Well, if they're streaming from outside the show, then that makes perfect sense. It's CES.
Exactly. I mean, there's internet going all over the place. Yeah. I would think even if it was there, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds a little more encouraging though, because, Hall, if you were playing their demo 2 years ago, cloud computing and cloud servers are vastly more popular even in this past 2 year span. So those server farms have definitely increased, and I'm sure a lot of those companies have built new ones as well. So that always helps. And plus the tech, I mean, a lot can happen in 2 years with technology. So I would assume that the latency issues would probably be a heck of a lot tighter than they would be 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. I think this is going to be fantastic. I'm just nervous that it's not going to work.
Yeah, I think it'll work.
I mean, it has
definitely
to.
Have
if
bugs.
They're not going to put all this money into R&D and all this other stuff if it's not going to.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to work. I just hope it's all that it's cracked up to be.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a thing where it's honestly partially dependent on your location and
right.
internet connection.
Yeah, they said you're going to need at
right.
least 5 megabyte download speeds to even
because my
get it cracking.
just going and visiting my mom over the holidays, like she has like 784K DSL or something like that.
Ouch.
Yeah, like that's not going to work.
No.
With that kind of stuff.
It's going to be like eep, op, ork, eep, op, ork.
Nice Jetsons reference there.
Yeah,
very
thank
good.
you.
Very good Jetsons reference.
Another thing I thought was cool about that though is that multiplayer will work. Like, so say I'm on my PS4. Don't know why I'd be doing this, but let's say I was playing Modern Warfare 3 over PlayStation Now. I could play with kids that were playing on their PlayStations, like their actual PlayStations.
Wow. Yeah. See, that just adds a whole nother level to latency issues and server bandwidth.
Yeah.
I mean, look at back at, what was it, at E3 when they had 53 people playing Battlefield 4 at the same time, and how did that work out when it launched? That's the kind of stuff that scares me. It's like they're really, I love the fact that they're pushing the envelope, but especially when it comes to online and everything, I still get wary because it's bound to happen that servers are going to crash, things are going to get overloaded. Just because so many people want this. It's great because there's a need for it. People want this. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. But I think if anybody can do it, I think Gaikai can. I think they've always been a solid company and they know what they're doing.
I think that they're in the best position to try this now because of PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I look at my friends list. My sister and I share PlayStation Plus, so like we get all the games and stuff. Using Game Share, if you guys remember what Game Share is.
Nope.
But basically on my friends list, like I look at my entire friends list and it's all people who listen to the show and everybody has PS Plus.
Yep.
Right.
So that's a good sign anyway for the amount of people that they're getting to jump on this service. Because you got to think, a lot of these companies that'll put their game promos out there or put their games out there for free, I mean, in some cases, they're probably not getting reimbursed a lot for those games because those games are acting as promotional tools for new games.
Mm.
So
and they probably chalk up that cost as a promotional marketing advertising expense anyway.
Just like, I always bring up this example, but putting out Borderlands for free like a week before 2 came out.
Sold me.
It was perfect.
I was hook, line, and sinker. I did exactly what they wanted me to do. Except you bought that for me, which was great, and I appreciated that.
Yeah.
But I would have gone if that hadn't happened. Like I had already planned that Christmas to go pick it up.
Yeah,
and it was totally smart. That's the way to do it.
The only reason I brought that up is because I bet Sony is making probably a decent amount of money off of Plus and can afford to, go out and get some servers and make this thing happen. So
yeah,
or let's hope anyway.
How much would you guys pay for something like this?
What's that?
How much would you pay for something like this?
A server?
No, for PlayStation Now.
Oh man, I don't know.
I would think it would be kind of like when OnLive existed. They may still exist. They had like a $9.99 per month play pack, I think it was.
Uh-huh.
And it included like a decent amount of their catalog, but then also too they had just games on a pay once and play forever basis.
Oh, really? And they will have rental with PlayStation Now. They talked about rental. That's why I think
too. it could go the way of Netflix, where you pay, $7.99 or $9.99. My question is, are they going to give you limitations on how many games you could play? Like, is it going to be a tiered system where you spend more and you get X amount of games, or will it be unlimited? I don't know, man. I don't know what I mean, I would certainly pay for this. I would probably pay up to $20.
$20
per month.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's pushing it a little bit. That's a good chunk of money a year. But maybe they do it kind of in a PlayStation Plus system, like I did. I started with the 3-month, and then what did they have? Like a 3, 6, and a full year? Is that what PlayStation Plus has?
Yes,
something like that. But if they have some sort of tiered system, I think that would be cool too. But I think
it's 3 and 12. I don't know if they have a 6.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you might be right. It might be 3 and 12.
It's like 1 month, 3 month, 12 months. I
think I would hope that I hope they do this too. PlayStation Plus members get a free trial for the first 30 days.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to get a free trial.
You almost have to, because I'm not going to drop all this money if it's not going to work. Of course, I'm sure you can cancel it at any time, but I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. The cheaper it is, the better. But for this kind of stuff with the catalog, and because I'm newer to gaming, I'd be all over it, and I would pay a higher amount a month. If it all works well.
Well, there's a limited beta coming out this month, they said.
Wow.
So hopefully one of us 3 can jump on that. And then they said they expect it launching this summer. So I don't know if that's going to be pre E3 or post E3, but
can you sign up for the beta at PlayStation's website?
Not yet. I checked.
Right.
Not yet.
I'm all over that.
Hog,
that'd be awesome.
Give us something else, buddy.
Looking at some of the Steam machines are showing up at CES.
Yeah.
And one of them really grabbed my interest because it's $500.
Yep.
Wow.
So the company iBuyPower, they're pretty well known for custom PCs and stuff like that.
I have one.
Oh, okay, that works. They're hitting the market with a system that they say is comparable to the new consoles that are out. And like I said, it's $500. They said hitting that price point is not easy.
Nope.
I bet.
But this is really interesting to me because that is a great price point for a second box if you are already a PC gamer.
Yep.
And you don't want to move your PC into the living room. That's really a good price for a second box.
That's cheap.
Yeah.
Real cheap.
And it's supposed to come with a one of those Valve controllers, which are Steam controllers. And I think those are by themselves are like $100 or something like that, aren't they?
I didn't see the price of those.
I mean, I've seen the Steam controllers, it's kind of a modern take on a controller, and I don't know if I would like it necessarily, but I mean, if you buy this box and you don't like the controller, you just plug in your Xbox 360 controller, or, then go to town.
Yep. And it's gonna be a crazy time, man. 13 companies as of now have signed on to create the Steam machines, including iBuyPower, Origin, Alienware is gonna make one, which is crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And the price range right now is from $499 to $6,000. And so it's kind of like they're kind of, they said that, the guys like iBuyPower that are known for kind of putting out stuff and trying to get stuff in people's hands. And then like people like, what is it? Falcon Northwest or something like that. Falcon Northeast, or the other big company. They're going to do more of the high end ones. And, it's going to be crazy.
So let me ask you this. I know we're not all PC gamers, but what's the benefit? Why would I spend that much money on a Steam box when all I would do is upgrade my PC? I mean, is it just to bring it into the living room, or is it?
I think it is because they want it to be small, quiet. I know when I was a kid playing Counter-Strike and Half-Life and Team Fortress and all this, like there would have been no way my mom would have let me bring my desktop tower into the living room,
right?
With all the lights and the fans. Because I built my own computer back then, and I had like freaking LED lights in there and the fans,
Liquid
extra
cool
fans. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just awesome. Loud, kicking it up. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
the bubbles from the water.
Yeah, there have been.
Somebody's like, "Who's blowing leaves outside?"
Boop, boop. And so. Anyway, so I think that's what this is creating, is something that's like the Xbox, that's like the Wii U, that's like the PS3, PS4, where you just put it in your entertainment system and plug it up and you have a controller and kick it up and it's ready to go.
I would just think, though, if you're a PC gamer, you don't necessarily... To me, if I was a PC gamer, I don't think I would care that much about that because, I go to my desk, I go to wherever, and I play my games there.
Yeah.
Is it worth that much money to condense it all into one little box that you can play in your living room? I guess that's the question. And maybe that's a good question for any PC gamers out there. I'd love to know your thoughts on these Steam Box machines. Is it worth it? Would it be worth it for you to switch over to something like this? Or are you happy with, if you've been PC gaming for years, I don't necessarily think you would change and want to do that, but I don't know.
Well, you also got to think too, there's the console consumer out there as well.
Oh, yeah.
But big time, if these things are not on the shelf next to, the Xbox 3 or the Xbox One or the PS4, they're not going to sell to that consumer. And maybe that consumer is not going to go to iBuyPower and buy a console.
Right. And maybe that's the niche market that they're looking at. But if they are getting into this console world, they have to play like the consoles do, and they have to get face time and shelf time in the Best Buys and the Targets and the Walmarts if they want to compete.
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, real quick. I think that the market that they're hitting is that PC consumer that just wants to bring something into the living room because. The Mac Mini unintentionally became that when it came out. A bunch of guys who were used to building their own Windows boxes or building their own what have you. They looked at the Mac Mini and they said, $600. That's perfect to put a PC in my living room. For home theater PC, basically.
Sure.
Home theater PCs really don't exist to a certain degree anymore because we have Roku and Apple TV and Chromecast and all that stuff now.
Right.
But back when we didn't have that stuff, people would put full-size PCs in their living room.
Gabe Patillo did it with his laptop.
There you go.
I would hook my laptop, kind of jimmy rig it to my television and try to, watch shows or do whatever, play music,
Yeah, and a lot of people did that. That's why the Mac Mini kind of gained popularity kind of on the side of what it already did, being like an actual computer. It gained popularity because it was small and it was quiet and you could just set it right there up next to your TV or put it in your entertainment center. It was so small.
Yeah.
And it just worked. So I think that this is a perfect companion to somebody that already has a PC and doesn't want to drag it into the living room.
It's
especially the iBuyPower one because it's $500.
Right. And what's so interesting about it is there's going to be so many companies making it. It seems so scattered.
That's a lot of companies and a lot of good ones in there too. Exactly. So it's like that know what they're doing. So it'll be interesting.
It will. Yeah, we'll really be interesting. See. I can't wait to watch it unfold. So a tweet went out from a guy named Rob Simpsey. Semsey. Simpsey. Okay. That's what I'm going with. PR manager at Microsoft. He said, and I quote, "Rest assured, your next Halo journey will begin in 2014. # Stay calm."
There you go.
So there's a Halo game landing this year. That is really exciting. Really exciting.
Man, it is going to be a good year.
It will be.
It is going to be a good year for games. Well, at least I hope. But
no, it's going to be a good year.
I think I'm very confident in saying it's going to be a great year.
Yeah, that's one of those. I mean, Halo, jeez Louise, man.
Halo games, I think, typically launch in September. So we could see a September release.
Yeah. And then do you think that Naughty Dog would try to hit right at the same time? I can't see Halo releasing and Uncharted not releasing.
I think if Uncharted 4 is coming, I think it's coming later in the year, probably October, November.
Yeah, you think holidays?
Yeah.
It would have to be. I've heard rumors that it's now slated for 2015.
But
I wouldn't be surprised.
But again, those are rumors. But when's Titanfall coming out?
I have no
I want
idea.
to say close to summer.
Yeah.
Oh, is
So
that early?
I would hope.
I think April or May.
I would hope that they would space those out.
Yeah, they will. They'll be fine. Even if they spaced them out a month, they'd still both sell really well.
And those two games might be the draw that makes me get an Xbox One. If I save up.
A 360, you could definitely get Titanfall at least.
That's true.
That's one thing to think of. And the 360, you could easily get a 360. I mean, for the holidays, they were $100.
I know. I saw that. I was like, wow. It's super tempting.
Yeah.
But I want the Kinect, Hall. I got to have the
Boo.
Kinect.
I'll sell you mine for real.
Okay, great.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
For free. Speaking of Titan,
I could let you borrow it. I was going to say, I forgot we got Just Dance and Dance Central.
Awesome.
That's the only time it comes out.
Right. That's hilarious. Speaking of Titanfall, the multiplayer has been capped at 6 versus 6.
Oh, wow.
Which was smaller than I thought. I was like, huh. Because I like playing Ground War on Call of Duty Ghost or Call of Duty. They've had Ground War where the teams are a little bit bigger. I think it's 9-9. But everybody's got an AI mech in Titanfall.
Wow.
So that's a lot of people on screen. So it's really like 24 people out there.
I'm a little nervous that it's going to be a little more like overload.
Yeah, I don't know how the mechs are going to work. Like if they're going to be there the whole time, or you're going to have to like call them in and then they'll leave, or I
mean, just watching that demo, it's like if you take a wrong turn, you're basically dead. Like it's so fast paced. I was like, woo.
Yeah,
that's good. That's going to hurt.
It's going to be crazy.
Everyone's going to be coming off sweating, dripping, like just
yeah. Be like, what are you playing? Just Dance? Be like, no, Titanfall.
Titanfall.
I think with Titanfall, aren't they launching their cloud multiplayer servers too?
I'm not sure.
I mean, they're definitely improving the multiplayer servers before they release Titanfall.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
They better. Because it's coming. It's going to be crazy.
And that's going to be it's going to be an Xbox One seller. So.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, yes.
I think that's going to be the new Halo, the new Gears of War franchise for them, and that's exactly what they need to do.
I could see it doing what Gears did for the 360.
Yeah.
Really helping it establish itself.
Yeah, that's true.
Agreed.
You have anything else, Hall?
You said one more thing. MLB 2K has been canceled.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, for 2014, I'm pretty sure the show is the only baseball game coming out now. But it's going to be interesting to see if anybody else takes this up because 2K had the exclusive on third-party baseball games. That's why Sony was able to make one because they're a first-party platform.
Oh, wow.
But it'll be interesting to see if any third-party developer takes up the baseball license for third parties. And I think EA would be the only one who would do it if they do. And even then, I don't think we'll see a baseball game from them in a long time.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
So it's going to be a while.
Yeah. Are baseball games really fun?
The show is pretty fun. It's a little highbrow in some things, just because it's more of a
simulator, like a handling the team kind of thing.
Well, it's kind of like a baseball simulator, but you do have one player that you're kind of taking through his career. But like when I played it, I always just kind of switched it to as arcadey as I could.
Right.
Like to play.
Exactly.
Because I prefer like an arcade style baseball game.
Right.
Huh. That's interesting.
Ken Griffey Jr., Major League Baseball for the Super Nintendo. Best baseball game ever
There you
made.
go.
That's awesome. I loved, back in the day, like the NES, SNES era, Genesis, I loved baseball games back then.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking step up to the plate, try to knock it out of there, and then like throwing people out when you were the other guy, getting in a pickle. So great.
I'm telling you, if you haven't played Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball for Super Nintendo, it really is like the best game. It was so good. They didn't even have the MLB license, and it was amazing.
Oh my gosh. That's nuts.
Yeah. Ken Griffey Jr. was the only real player in the game.
So, you know, I don't know if anybody will remember, but months and months and months and months and months ago, we talked about China's ban on video game systems coming there, and how there's kind of an underground black market where you can kind of get your hands on one. But it's been illegal for them to sell video games since like the early 2000s. And they're thinking of lifting that ban.
Wow.
Which would be huge. Only because there's 1.35 billion with a B, billion people in China.
Oh, boy.
And if that opened up and Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo could get in there, I think it could be a game changer.
Yeah, you think servers crash now.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, it dropped its old console ban, and now it's waiting on the Cultural Management Department of State Council to come up with the new regulations for what they want video games in China to look like. So I'd imagine Sony and everybody's got their fingers crossed. So it's not a green light yet, but it's definitely not the red light that it's been.
They are salivating right now. That's awesome. That's cool, but that's also, hey, welcome to communism. That's how it works.
He gets to tell you what you do.
There's a department for everything, and there you have it. Wow,
that's funny. So
but that would be awesome, though.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being like a 14-year-old kid in China right now. Like, what? Wait, what? My whole life I haven't been able to play video games.
I know, right?
Yeah, but do the Chinese just go to other countries to buy that stuff, or are they just not allowed to bring it in at all? Like if they own it, they still can't bring it in.
I mean, but you make it sound like it's so easy, just like hop out of the country and then come back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when's the last time any of us left the country?
Right. Yeah, I understand that, but Hong Kong's like right there.
Yeah,
it's like the biggest import-export city. I'm with you, Hall. Like, and that's why there's got to be like a flourishing black market there. Like, there's no way. There's people getting them. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Right, and I'm not saying that people don't have PlayStation in all of China, but what I'm saying is the opportunity that's there. If they just say, "Hey, you can sell these here," that's direct money.
Oh yeah, there's still not as many consoles as there would be if they would lift that. I'm certain of that.
Oh God,
I'm sure it's under 1 million. And PC gaming is really popular there.
See?
Wow.
Steambox. I wonder if Steambox can release there then. The Steam machine.
Could.
I wonder if that'd be considered something different.
I wonder about that.
Linux based. Ooh-wee. Could you imagine? Oh my gosh. Just thinking about that gives me butterflies for Valve. Like, hey, they can't sell Xboxes and PlayStations here, but we can sell Steam machines here. Oh my gosh. You'd be the only console on the market.
Oh man.
1.35 billion people.
You'd finally see games being made for Linux, like all games.
Overnight. Yeah.
Instantly.
That's one thing I guess we forgot to talk about with the Steam machines is since it's Linux based, it's like I guess if these things do really well, people are going to have to start, having a Windows and Linux version of their games.
Yep. Windows, Linux, and Mac. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen for sure.
That's amazing.
So there's a website called gamesdonequick.com. I saw this story. I thought it was awesome. I wanted to bring it up. We're a little late to the party. I wish we could have talked about this before this week, but from January 5th to the 11th, they've been doing this thing called the Awesome Games Done Quick. I think that's just what it's called, and it's an annual event that started in 2010. And they this year they're raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. And
awesome!
And so far they've raised $80,000.
That's great.
They raised a bunch of money last year, and what it is I guess you go and sponsor these kids like you do anything that you raise money for. But these guys sit around and for 5-6 days, they beat games beginning to end. And that's why it's called Games Done Quick. So from Mario Brothers to Borderlands 2, they sit there and you sponsor them to beat these games fully. And so it's just so crazy because they say they try to pick games that are exciting because they're streaming their whole thing. You can go to gamesdonequick.com and check it out, and you could probably give money from there as well. But they have a streaming event. They said they try to pick games that are exciting to watch and that have really good speed runs, where I don't know if anybody saw it, but a couple years ago, Mario Brothers 3, I think, floated around on YouTube where this kid beat it in 11 minutes, and he's just flying through it. I mean, it's crazy to watch him do some of these levels because you're like, are you serious? So I would imagine that's what this whole thing looks like, is just kids that know these games backwards and forwards and just blaze through the whole story. So
wow,
I'd like to see some, hopefully they set up some Wii plays with that and freaking.
That'd be amazing. Yeah,
that'd be funny if they were. Well, that'd be funny if they were speed running Borderlands 2, not killing anybody, and basically they get to the end of the game at level 1.
Right. Yeah. All they have is a pistol. But dude, that's pretty amazing. Like, I'd love that job. That'd be fun.
I know. Could you imagine? So you got to be really good at a game.
To sponsor Tim Router, please call
188 Tiger Claw.
188 Tiger Claw.
I would love to see something like this on PBS, where it's like a telethon.
Oh, it'd be amazing.
Oh yeah. Somebody people getting headshotted in the background.
Yeah, and it's VHS quality for no reason.
That's a great idea.
Oh, everybody's messing with their tracking. They're like,
right.
Oh, my tracking's messed up.
Oh, my tracking's off.
Hall, did you have anything else before we
Nope.
move on? Well,
I'm ready for the question.
There it is. I was waiting for it.
For those that are atheists out there, I'm going to get on my soapbox for 2 seconds. How can you not believe in God when he gives us the gift of Michael Bay at the Samsung press conference? Whenever things like this happen, and I'll explain myself in a second, but whenever things like this happen, I'm like, how can you not believe there's a God and that he loves us and gives us things like Michael Bay at the Samsung press conference? So Michael Bay, as you guys know, the director of Transformers and Bad Boys and anything big action where stuff blows up that makes zero sense.
In the background.
Yeah.
With the characters walking towards you.
Towards the screen, yeah.
Exactly. In slow motion. Was doing a press conference for Samsung, was out there as a guest speaker. And he said, this is what he said. He got excited and talked over someone else's line, to which made the teleprompter guy freak out. And he's like trying to find where Michael's at, and he's like moving the teleprompter around. And so you kind of see Michael Bay, he's like talking. He's like, he like gets mad, real frustrated for a second. He goes, dang it. And like turns around, like puts his back to the audience, and then turns back around, I think, like realizing, oh crap, I'm in front of people and on the internet streaming right now. And he's like, I'm sorry, the copy is all off. Like, the teleprompter's all off. He goes, I'll just wing it. And Michael Bay can't wing it.
And doesn't wing it at all.
Oh god.
That's not in his wheelhouse of talents.
And then he blew up the TVs behind him and walked away, or walked toward you.
And so what ends up happening is he stumbles, apologizes, and just walks off.
Honestly, though, that's probably the smartest thing he could have done.
No, the smartest thing you could have done is just talk from the heart.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you love this thing. You're talking about yourself. Like, if somebody said, Gabe, tell me about yourself, I don't need a teleprompter to tell you.
That's right.
Who I am, what I'm about. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we have a teleprompter on every show.
That's right. Gabe sits there, pulls up a chair. In 1993.
Yeah, exactly.
I went and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. I kind of felt bad for him, and then I kind of laughed at the same time.
Exactly. I felt bad for him, but it seems like he took it when he released the statement. I was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And I do get the panic of going out and reading a script and then no longer having the script. So it's not that Michael Bay probably can't wing it or can't talk about himself. I mean, he's been in interviews. It's not like those were teleprompted interviews.
Right.
But to go out there with a script that says this, and then all of a sudden not having it, your brain kind of goes to a different thing because it wasn't expecting to have to talk off the cuff.
Exactly.
If they invited about, said, just talk about directing.
And to me, that also indicates that he probably just wasn't prepared with his busy schedule. He probably flew in, did his thing, and flew out. And he probably didn't prepare or didn't get a whole lot of, mentally just wasn't prepared for it so he could really discuss it. I think that would be the key. That's happened to me once. Like back in the day, I actually there's a college here in Franklin called O'More College of Design, and my wife was the fashion chair at the time. This was like, I want to say 99. 2000, somewhere around there. And so she had asked me to do a class for the semester on HTML web design. I'd never taught in my life before. And the first day that happened, like I had a set schedule and I was talking to these kids. There's only like 12 of them in the thing. And I'm like, hey guys, you know what? Can we just take 10, 15 minutes for a second? And I just let them go on break. Seriously, because your mind really does that. You get flustered because I was just going, and so here we have the, and I seriously pulled a Michael Bay. I didn't stomp out or anything, but I just said, hey, you know what? Let's take a break for 10, 15 minutes. Best thing I ever did. Came back and then killed it. And it was great.
Good.
And everybody was, fine and it all worked out.
Yeah.
So I can see that happening, but dude, it's Michael freaking Bay for crying out loud.
Yeah, happen to anybody. Hall, did you see
that would be funny if he just he stumbled and he's like, screw it, and there was an explosion.
Yeah, exactly.
that's what I'm talking about, man. Just
fire.
And then somehow he gets time to slow down, and then he walks towards you with an explosion in the back.
Walks towards the camera.
He's walking very, very slowly, but everybody else is still in fast motion. They're like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, exactly. It's like the Zach Morris freeze, except it's the Michael Bay slowdown.
It's awesome.
Well, you guys know where to find us. Twitter.com/MTTGcast, marriedtothegames.com. Check out the forums. Check out the website. Let us know what we're doing right. Let us know what we're doing wrong. iTunes, Stitcher, rate us with highs. Please. A lot of stars. Stars everywhere.
I saw the coolest review on iTunes the other day, by the way.
For who? For us?
Yeah, he had mentioned that we're a show that he can listen to when he's taking his kids to school. I thought that was the coolest thing.
Oh man, that's awesome.
It really cool. Matches our show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And he's probably listening right now, and I'm stumbling, because I don't have a teleprompter. But
why don't you just get out of here, Hall? Why don't you just get out of here?
Yeah,
all right.
Fire!
That's really cool, man. I love that. That's great.
We want to be for everybody. Everybody's learning about video games is learning. So thank you guys so much for listening. Man, I can't believe it's 2014. That's nuts.
No, it's nuts.
Let's get into some questions.
Facebook, Jeff Swan. Question for the podcast group. Given
That's us.
That would be us. Given that Router is newer to gaming, if you could snap your fingers and have him have the experience of playing an entire series through, what would it be?
Final Fantasy 7.
No.
No, he'd have to play the whole series.
Yeah, the whole series.
Oh, all the final? No. I don't want to.
See, we'd snap our fingers and you'd already have played it. So you
Exactly.
wouldn't have to
That's
go
true.
through.
Okay, that's true. Okay, so for me, he said, I think coming into gaming late, he had really missed out on a ton of innovation and just great games by not having played the Metal Gear Solid series.
That's what I was going to say. That was my second one.
There you go. That series
that's a good one,
redefined
too.
storytelling, stealth action, and cinematic gaming through fantastic voice acting and character development. Yeah, tell me, guys, what do you think? You think I would be into Metal Gear?
Metal
Yes.
Gear is a good one, and it
Really
would be
good.
fun. It would be funny for you to play it now, just because the first one, their mouths don't move, just their head. So every time they say a word, their head twitches.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
It's
awesome.
pretty
Bobbleheads.
funny.
It's awesome and creepy all at the same time.
And
Yep.
because there's no chance that I would ever want you to play in JRPG now,
Yeah.
I think my number one choice would still be Final Fantasy, only because number one, you would really appreciate where Final Fantasy has come. And then just the history of he's talking about storytelling. I think the Final Fantasy 7 games, you talk about no mouth moving, barely a head bob, maybe some shrugs and stuff, but you found yourself really, really caring about the characters. And I think Metal Gear still had voice acting pretty early on.
The first one did.
Yeah. And so where Final Fantasy didn't, but you still cared for some reason. So if I could snap my
I'm
fingers.
thinking of the Solid series. Never mind. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the first Metal Gear didn't.
So if I could snap my fingers and you have any, I think it would be that. It'd still be Final Fantasy. That's
awesome. Thanks, Jeff, for that question. Because Chayman on Twitter also asked. Now he said, question for TR, but I want this to go to all of us. With PS Now announced, will you use it to play classic games you didn't years ago or mostly newer ones? And for me, because I'm so new to this, I know I'd want to go back and play some classic games, but at the same time, being kind of thrown into the latest technology versus going back, I don't know. Would I get bored with it, or would I be like, this is
It'd
no
be
fun?
hard. It'd be hard.
I think it would be hard. What would you guys do? Would you guys focus more like this past generation games, or would you go way back? I guess it depends on their catalog too, but I don't know how many classic games I would play versus trying to play newer ones.
Yeah,
I think classic games with 3D would throw you off, because 3D in its infancy was kind of crappy.
Yeah, it was not good at all.
For me too. I'd be using PlayStation Now as more of a on the road traveling kind of thing. So it would be more just to continue Ni no Kuni in my bunk on the bus or in the hotel than it would be wanting to go back and play a bunch of games I missed. Probably. I probably would dip back every now and then, but I don't see that being the focus for me.
There are PS2 games you could jump into, Router.
Oh yeah, so, no, that's what I'm saying.
But with modern mechanics and stuff, and especially because most games, they tell you where to go. There's not a whole lot of just exploration with no idea what you're doing.
Yeah,
right.
But there's a lot of that in PS1 and PS2 games. So
I think what I'll do though is when it comes out, and if everything's working the way I think it's going to work, I'm going to tweet out to everybody and just be like, all right, I'll pick 3 games and be like, okay, guys, which one should I pick? Because I want other people's input, especially you guys, just to be like, okay, what should I be playing? I haven't been playing games all my life. What were some impactful ones? And
that
so
I missed, yeah.
Shoot, man, maybe I will play Final Fantasy 7.
No, don't play it.
All right, maybe I won't.
I don't know. It's still fun.
It's an awesome game. I love it, but I just don't see him liking it, really.
I think I just need to experience it. I have to experience a JRPG once in my life, and don't you think it should be that one?
That's true. I came over to the Western RPG just for Skyrim and Mass Effect, which I'd never done before.
Yeah.
And I really loved Mass Effect. But, it's just the graphics and everything. It's just so sprightly and,
Yeah.
That's why 7 would probably be the good one.
Yeah.
But you would have to play it with a walkthrough for sure.
Just to get through it.
Yeah, because when you get out to the world map, man, I mean, they don't really tell you. Like when you get the airship,
yeah,
they don't tell you where to go. You just got to figure it all out.
Oh,
so
can I say too? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Router.
No, I was just going to say, so it like turns into open world and you just don't know where you're going?
Yeah, and I think you know where you're going.
No, not really, because you kind of have to kind of go explore places to kind of find out what you have to do next. I mean, they kind of they'll give you like, they'll say, maybe we should go to this city, but you don't know where that city is. You got to find it.
Okay.
I mean, trust me, Gabe, as somebody who played it again recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just grabbed a guide and went back through it instead of trying to figure it out again.
I mean, if he wanted to do like, all the chocobo stuff and all that, I could see that, but I didn't think it was that hard on the.
Obviously when I played it the first time, I didn't play it with a guide and I didn't seem to think it was that bad. But nowadays, like with as little time as we get to game typically,
yeah,
like, you could spend hours just trying to figure out that game.
Wow.
So, and I mainlined it the last time I played it and it was 40 hours.
Wow.
So
that's a beast.
Yeah, I love it. Golly. I think I poured 60 or 70 hours into that game back in the day. Anyway,
awesome.
Good question.
It's just that, games in that time, just they didn't hold your hand near as much.
Yeah, Ni no Kuni holds your hand way too much, if I could say that about Ni no Kuni. It's like, I feel like I'm 40 hours in. It's like, all right, Ollie boy, you know that you got to cast this spell and choose this thing. And you're like, I'm 2 days into this game straight. Like, why are you still telling me that?
You're like, hang on, I got this.
Exactly. Please, excuse me. Hey. Come on, guys.
Yeah, hey. All right, moving on to Twitter. At Calm Fury, Michael Guthrie. Does PlayStation Now help sway your decision between PS4 and Xbox One?
PlayStation Now? Is that what he means?
Yes. Isn't that what I said?
Oh, sorry. It's the emphasis threw me off. Does PlayStation Now?
Does PlayStation Now help sway your decision between PS4 and Xbox One?
Thank you.
Well, since we're already kind of I'm a PS4 owner. It definitely reinforces my decision. I think it's still your preference. Like I'm curious if Microsoft's going to come out with something to compete with this, because this is a big deal and they have to recognize this. And I want to see their response and see how they handle this. Mine
doesn't sway me from Xbox One or PS4, but it definitely solidifies my Vita purchase.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's a big deal right there.
That's a great perspective. Yeah. Especially
if it came out and
Vita
it was
owner.
Well, if it came out and it was amazing, I mean, get rid of your PS3 and get a Vita.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the only thing the Vita is missing is a case that because what happens is the Vita's only got 2 trigger buttons, L1 and R1. And then the back touchscreen is
that's right.
L2,
that's right.
R2. Now, there have been guys like on YouTube and on the internet that are looking at how to make a case that adds those buttons that triggers the touchpads, and they have done it successfully.
Wow.
So if Sony can get with those guys and make a case that kind of almost makes the Vita have those extra triggers, man, oh man.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's pretty slick.
Gabe, I meant to ask you, have you played Tearaway?
No, but everybody is saying to play.
I heard it again on another podcast that, because this other guy was a new Vita owner, played Tearaway and like just fell in love with the Vita more and more, because Tearaway has it utilizes all of the functionality of the Vita. So that might be a game for you to pick up too.
I know. I might. It just went on sale too. I missed it.
Sweet.
I'll get it.
Sweet.
I'll get it sometime.
Well, good question, Michael. Thank you for that. Lane White at Lane Storm. Hey guys, do you think that Assassin's Creed Black Flag is a perfect game? Perfect does not have to mean flawless. Thanks for your enthusiasm. You don't have to ask me.
That's who we have to ask. None of us have played.
That's true. That's actually true. It is not a perfect game. I don't think there isn't a true, and perfect is definitely subjective as well. It is certainly not a perfect game, but it is a fantastic game for you to just go around and it's a play around kind of a game. It's just one of those games where you do your main missions. But for me, when I was playing the game, especially when you get your ship and you can just navigate around the map and just go and get treasures and get all this other stuff, I I was playing so many of the side missions, just having so much fun with it, that there were areas that I couldn't access yet because I hadn't gone to the actual mission that unlocked it. And I was actually starting to look it up, like, why is this area not available yet? And it turns out I had to go into one of the main missions to actually unlock that. That's how much fun I was having just going around and doing all this stuff. And it's great. It's a great, fun, open world game. So that's my 2 cents. And I think, Gabe, you'll agree with me, and Hall, you'll agree with me once you guys start playing it.
Yeah, Router's Game of the Year for 2013.
Yeah, it's definitely my game of the year.
Nice. Let's keep it moving because Hall's got to get out of here.
Yeah. All right. We've got 2 more. Nathaniel Evans at Kid Cootie. What is your biggest / favorite jaw-dropping moment from a video game that you've experienced? That's a great question.
Wow.
I've got 2. I actually have 2. The beginning, the first 10 minutes of The Last of Us was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And the ending of
Walking Dead.
Wolf Among Us for
Wolf
me.
Among Us. Wow.
Those are my 2 favorite moments so far.
Oh, Infinite, the ending of Infinite.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Jaw-dropping.
Biggest or favorite jaw-dropping moment?
And then there's a moment in Final Fantasy VII, too, and Gabe knows what I'm talking about.
I know. I hate to go back to that game. Like, I always
No,
want to
you
say
don't.
that game. But even, like, it's funny because I know which part you're talking about, Hall, but even, like, the beginning of Final Fantasy VII, I had not seen anything like that yet.
None of us had.
That full motion
really
video, and
like,
I was like, what is this? And then for some reason it grabbed me so much that I forgave it when it just jumped back to the regular graphics. Like I was like, this game looks incredible. I was like, the character didn't have hands, but
They had a really good opening for the time. I mean,
the opening was good enough that they launched the PS3 with it, if that tells you anything.
yeah.
At E3 when they presented the PlayStation 3, the very first tech demo they showed was the opening scene from Final Fantasy VII. So, gosh, it's hard for me not to say Final Fantasy VII. Sorry. I know I sound like a broken record.
No, that's awesome. That's great.
Broken freaking record.
All right, last question, and this is a good one. Jahangir Mohammed at Jahangir says, "What do you guys think about PS4's 4.2 million sales figures? Should Microsoft be worried?" Let me give you some backstory because this just came out like 19 hours ago.
Yep.
PlayStation 4 sold 4.2 million units through the end of 2013.
Yep.
The number eclipsed the Xbox One consoles by 1.2 million.
Right. Xbox said they sold 3 million. Yeah.
Sold 3 million. So should Microsoft be worried?
No.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think so at all.
If it got to it where they were severely getting outsold, they would do something about it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
if it was 2-1, but I mean,
Yeah, they don't need to be worried. And in fact, once Titanfall comes out, I think Sony may have to be a little worried. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
I don't know if there's ever been, I can't say ever, but I don't know if there's been, since we've been doing this podcast, a game that released on Xbox and PlayStation, that PlayStation was number 1 on the charts.
Yeah, it's
always
that's
been
true.
You're absolutely
Xbox
right.
on ahead of PlayStation. So I think even with those sales,
Yep.
people in the West, we have to clarify, own way more 360s than PS3s, but in the East, it's not even close. I mean, Sony is killing Microsoft in Japan and places like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's anything for either one of them to be worried about. And again, it all comes down to just games. What's your preference? How, which platform do you prefer? To me, it's all kind of the same oat bag at some point, and everything's, it's completely your preference. There's variances here and there, but in the end, it's all about the games.
Yep.
And no matter what console you're in, it's great.
Yep.
I could see myself within the next 5 years with
both.
I agree. Yep.
Well, I was going to say with a PS4, an Xbox One, and possibly a Steam machine.
There you go.
Just because there's games on PC that's not on other things. I mean, it is about the games.
Yeah.
Yep. It's all about the games.
I like it. That's why we're married to it, baby.
I mean, I think it's a good win for Sony. I think that helps them considering their last console launch.
Right.
So I think it's definitely a wonderful 180 turn for them that they were able to do that. But it's not going to change anything. Microsoft is just going to just be like, okay, good for you. Here we go.
Big wheels keep on turning.
That's right.
Primary keep on burning. Rolling. Man,
hey, competition is good for everybody.
Yeah,
Amen.
exactly. It's especially good for us gamers.
Yep.
Because they're going to keep pushing the envelope, baby. All right. Anything else, you guys?
That's it.
Hall?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Well, of course, thank you guys for being here. We have a question for you guys. Now that your feet are back under you, it's 2014. You're probably back to work like me. What are you guys playing? You guys hear what we're playing all the time. What are you guys playing here in the new year? Are you finishing up some stuff from 2013? Are you moving on? Are you next gen? Are you last gen? What are you doing? We want to know. Use hashtag answer MTTG. We would love to know what you guys are playing. Let us know on Twitter. You can check us out at the forums. Man, good cast, you guys.
That was good. It's a good
Yes,
start
yes,
to the year.
y'all.
We're about to be 70 episodes old next week.
Wow.
We appreciate you guys.
Yes,
being
y'all.
You're getting that down.
Oh, you got that down, man. You'll be
Oh, we got
hosting
that
before
down.
you know it.
I'm just
Exactly.
preparing in case we ever have to host for Gabe.
That's
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Might be coming up. We'll
Yeah.
see. Well, I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Timothy Hall. That is Tim the Tiger Claw Router. And we are staying married to the games up in this. We out this thing. Peace.